You are tuned in to What Up Baltimore online radio. Please note that the views and opinions expressed on this channel are of the host and not of Lady J Media. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, What Up Baltimore TV. And if you really don't want to miss any of the shows, hit that notification bell and you'll get a message every time we come on. Now, we got it from here, so sit back, relax, and stay tuned.
I know you do, so that's what I do. I give you that kind of love that makes you come back. I'm your pusher, baby. I'm your pusher.
Hey, little black boy, let me holler at you for a minute. I was once in your place, you should respect what I say. Some of the things I'm about to tell you just may save your life in a world where not much is right. Little black boy, you're gonna see and experience all sorts of things, but don't let your mind be knocked in the chin. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Spitfire Poetry Shutdown. I am your host, John Hansboro. It is March the 1st, 2023. I hope everyone is having a wonderful week thus far. We have a great show lined up for you all tonight. We are live, or I am live from Baltimore, Maryland right now. Go to Lady J Media to find out all of the ways to watch the shows on What Up Baltimore online TV. Go to YouTube and subscribe to the What Up Baltimore TV page so you can stay abreast on all the shows that are coming up every day and every week that we do shows. All right. Now, this is a wonderful treat because to start off Women's History Month, it is a pleasure to have this young lady on here tonight. She is an absolute powerhouse of a poet. I follow her. I've been following her for maybe, I guess, a year and a half now. I love what she does on the mic. She's absolutely incredible. I reached out to her to get her on my show about a year ago, and she came on and just blew us away. I want to introduce you all to Jamila. She goes by Jamspoken. All right, Jamspoken. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, sis. How you been? What you up to?
I've been good. I have been kind of busy, but not so busy. I've been working a lot, so work been like priority for me. But outside of work, like I am working on a few different things for this year. I'm trying to get a curriculum book together, a poetry curriculum book, so I can pitch it to the school, so I can have like a 16 curriculum for the summer. Right. And then I'm also working on some other things. I'm trying to do some nonprofits and stuff. So yeah, I've been working, trying to get some things together.
Awesome. So look, tell everybody how long you've been writing. How long have you been interested in writing, and how long have you been writing poetry?
Okay. Oh, I've been interested in writing since I was in the 4th grade. So I probably was, 10 or something. Young though. I've loved writing since I was very, very young. I realized that I love poetry around 4th grade. But then I started doing performing spoken word. It's about to be 2 years, I think. So it's coming up somewhere in there. But so it's been about 2 years since the pandemic, 2021, January 2021. February, I think, was my first time. But yep, so somewhere around there. But I've been writing a long time. I used to write everything: stories, books, right now I'm also trying to venture off into my writing. Like I have been doing like a lot of spoken word poetry, but I wants to last time I wrote a poetry book. I am going to be doing a curriculum book for poetry, but I'm also releasing a new book. It's going to be I should have it finished in a couple months, but it's going to be an actual book, a novel this time. So it's not even going to be a poetry book. You know, so just to
Also,
like
is this novel based on like true events or true stories that you've dealt with?
no. Uh-uh.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Now, what do you have out right now? 'Cause I know you got a book out now, right?
yeah, I have a book out. It is called Emerging, Becoming New. It's like a self-help book. So it's a mix of poetry, but also coping skills because you know that's what I do for my job. There um, so I'm teaching people how to have healthy coping skills, different things like that, how to deal with PTSD, trauma, grief, things like that in my book. And then like for each activity or each curriculum, like so my book goes like in the beginning, it's like it started teaching you. So we started off with like the first steps of grief, the first steps of identifying issues, and then each part has a poem on the next page. So for
Mm.
situation, then there's a poem, and then that's how like it go. That's the format.
And
Yeah.
what's
So
the name of that book?
emerging, becoming new.
Emerging, becoming new. I love that idea of how you did that because the way I look at that from what you just explained to me, the poem being right after whatever you're talking about on each page is like the healing part of it, or like the, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna tell you too, I really, after this pandemic, it's so important now, this mental health and all of the things that we need to do each and every day just to get through because we all deal with so much. You know what I mean?
It's
And I say all the time, poetry is therapeutic for me, and what way does poetry help you though? What does it do for you?
oh, it's therapy for me. That's why I started doing it. At first, I just love to write. Like I'm a writer at heart, so I love to write. But when I started writing poetry again, because I stopped for like 10 years, I stopped at 18, so I didn't start back till I was like 28. So um yeah, it's therapy. That's the reason why I write. I write for therapy. Like it's just to express whatever is going on in my mind around me. It's not always my own situations that I write about, but just an expression, a way to get it out because it's just like I don't know. You know how it is. You're a writer. You know how it's a release. It's just like exercising a little bit. Like it allows
Mhm.
to hold things in, but to release it, and then sometimes to get a clearer view because the things that you can express with your mouth is not always the things that you can express verbally. Like verbal
Mm.
communication and written communication is different. So sometimes you don't always have the words to say verbally when somebody's talking to you or you even talking to a therapist. You don't have communicated. But when you write, you can it's like you painting the story or picture. So you able to see yourself through a situation clear, like, oh, that's what I meant. That's what I felt by this. Is those are the emotions I'm feeling right now.
It's definitely easier for me to um write my feelings down. Like I have a therapist and psychiatrist that I've talked to throughout the years off and on. And to be able to write it down, I find is different because for some reason I can talk with everything I can't get out. You know what I mean? Everything I can't express to that person that's sitting in front of me. And I do find that writing is the best way for me to do it, especially like with my first book, Unusual Favor. That's a story that was some trauma that I dealt with, that me and my wife dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of difficult to talk to my therapist about it and deal with the changes that we dealt with, but it was easier to write the story and explain
Oh,
it. You know what I mean? And it was even months or a year after I was still able to put that story down because it's just stuck. It's stuck right there. I remember everything I went through, all the emotions that me and my wife had to deal with. You know what I mean? So, being able to write it down and get it out that way is a blessing. I love it. So look, let's not even take let's just get right into it because I am excited to hear you myself. Every time you like post a poem, most of the time, if I catch it, I try to post it so I
you
can
do.
put it out there because I love what you do.
You show a lot. Always.
I do. I do. I love what you do. I love what you do. I love your style of how you do it. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. Whatever you want to put out there, whatever you want to express first, you can go right ahead and do it.
Okay. So I do have I will be in Baltimore for WAP Women's of World Poetry Slam this year. So hopefully I didn't get to see y'all last year because it
No,
was
we didn't. Okay, so when are you coming? When is this? It's in March?
March 30th to April 1st.
Okay. All right.
So
All right.
I should have like a one free day, hopefully. Because they be having us busy, but that's why I didn't get to see y'all last time. But hopefully, do y'all be going to like the different open mics and stuff that they be having out there?
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Absolutely. Shout out to my sister Shamice Jacobs is watching right now. She's a fan of yours as well. She follows
That's
you.
girl.
But yeah, when you get in town, we definitely got to try to hook up, have dinner. All of us hook up and do something. Definitely.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna send you my number so you could just text me because sometimes I always don't be on social media. But
Gotcha.
yeah, so I'm practicing some poems I'm thinking about for them. I'm gonna do those poems. You could tell me what you think. This is gonna be one of my these kind of like some recent poems I wrote. Um, all of my poems are always about healing. It may not be the place I'm in, but it's always to push the narrative of healing forward, to kind of bring a story about. So this poem is called, what did I call it? I don't even know the name of it. We gonna go into it though. I don't think I
Gotcha.
gave it yet.
Okay.
I begin to tell a man a story about blessings, how dirt and water makes mud used for building structures. The same rain for flood grew me out of the dirt. Who knew that becoming a habitual failure would keep me planted? Who knew that fail would turn into mail to read me open? Shipwreck became ship sail. I wonder if the Marines would tell you different. I paint a picture for 'em. Gold and it went up in flames the way my mother cracked me open. The way I saw crack cooked on the stove before I can cook. Black spoons were not used for gravy, just to smother my first memory of murder. Age 3, the way my tiny limbs became big enough to climb out of a window. I still hear the screams of my father's voice before he killed the man. I wonder if this was perjury. They never put me on stand, but I would testify this was blessing. The way I fell apart and fell into stories, I became the best storyteller, a poet. I turned substance abuse into substance. I only went to college to run away from my mother. How many astute students can you find in a book? Chapter 2, I had my first abortion during my first semester. Did not find I was carrying failure into my second trimester. Called this a forced miscarriage. My mother said I was not old enough to carry life, just old enough to choke off a secondhand smoke with a pipe line to give. Chapter 3, I fell in love with a broken man. We both became broken homes. What a hell of a story. He placed glory in my womb 3 times. They say 3 represents perfection. I wonder what you get when you subtract him. I told a man a story about blessings. He said, this sounds more like a tragedy. I said, wait, let me finish. I fell so many times. I got a PhD in failing backwards. That's selling forward. The way I entrepreneur through risk. They say it's going to take deep pockets, but it only take you to fail enough times until you ship. I got a master's in psychology. Lost my mind so many times. Who better to teach you how to keep yours? Grade 8 in discernment. In order to stay safe, I had to see it before it was coming. I had to see it before it's coming. So you don't get crowned without womb. When they say the baby is crowning, that means push through fire, failure, fuel. I fell into so many blessings. Blessings are only found in the waiting rooms of miscarriages. What message will you get? And that's that piece.
Damn, I love it. I love it. I love it. What? And you don't have a name for that?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I put it.
All right. What inspired that piece though?
I think this lady that I follow, I don't know if y'all follow her. She do like slutty vegan, the restaurant. Y'all know her?
I don't think so.
Okay, so she had posted a thing about how when she first started her restaurant, she started a Jamaican restaurant. It was somewhere in New York or whatever, but it failed. And right now she got like streams of restaurants that she planted, and then she had posted like, this season of felon was necessary, and then it triggered my mind. Like sometimes we forget that felon is a part of the journey. A lot of people don't want to fail; they want to keep it clean, but you don't understand. Like you can't get to where you need to be until you fail enough times. Like the felon is the ground, it's the watering, it's the cement, it's the foundation on what you stand. And if you don't fail enough time, your foundation gonna be weaky. But the more you fail, you really learn how to navigate through all things in life better than most people. You know what I'm saying? Like you become so good. You learn core values in the failing. Like you may not always develop the skill that's necessary for whatever you're doing, but it's the core values that you learn. And I feel like for me, without that failing, I wouldn't be who I am. I'm like very, very, very persistent, consistent because of that. And I feel like it ain't too much can break me for real.
I love it. Where do you draw your strength from?
Oh God.
Same here. I feel you, sis.
Thing in my life.
Right. Definitely. Same here. So with this being Women's History Month, what does that mean to you though? When you think of Women's History Month, what does that mean to James?
I love women, okay? I love me some women. I think it's just the way to celebrate life. I feel like men are the leaders of life, but women are the incubators of life. You understand? So it's like it's when we celebrate women, I love women. I'm so excited for Women History Month because it's like, we had so many pioneers. Women have pioneered so many things for us outside of just like Black history and anything. Like women have been pioneers for so many things. And I think the voice of the woman is rising in our society. So when I think of Women History Month, I really think we're celebrating the woman's voice. And like, the woman's voice is the incubator of life. So it's like, we just to think about how we celebrate that, like it excites me. I also have like trying to start a group in the midst of doing it. It's been going okay. It ain't been going great, but I'm trying. But it's a group for women and it's called Connecting the Link. And it's about bringing women together from all over the world to get together, to pray, to worship, to build businesses, to think, to comfort one another. Like I believe the strength of the woman in society has always been a backbone for real. That's how I feel. Like it always been a strong grandma in the family, or you know what I mean? Like it's always been the woman that has I guess push things forward. So when we think about celebrating women, I'm real glad about celebrating.
I love it. What's been your biggest inspiration, you think?
Oh, far as women or just period in life?
Just period, yeah, just period. Like to motivate you to just push every day, to press every day.
My children, my children. So I got kids, which I said that, but I have 3 daughters, and so I have 3 girls. And I used to always want a boy. Just give me a boy. Just give me a boy. I still want a son one day. But I'm so blessed to have girls because I feel like it's different in raising girls and probably raising boys. So it's like they are my motivation. But like I did recently wrote a poem by my daughter. I don't know it but about her, so I ain't gonna do it. But it was just really about like what you saying, like what is my motivation? Like sometimes we think that we save our children, but our children save us. So it's like every day I wake up and it's like they proud of you. The world will tell you they proud of you. So kids, they're gonna be proud of you for every little thing you do. They just, oh my God, you're great. They just and so it's like that's my motivation to keep going every day. It's like I want to provide them with not necessarily the material things I didn't have in life, but I want them to have a safe experience in life. So it's like my goal is to always be able to do that. And I feel like when I push forward, I'm pushing not just for my children, but generations after. Because I don't look at things in a pretense. I feel like when you're thinking about legacy and building, you have to think about who's coming behind you. And, so that's what makes me keep going because it's like we have to put a solid foundation down for them.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, let's get right into something else, James. Whatever else you got that you want to spit, just go right ahead. I got a couple more questions for you after, of course.
Okay. I wrote this poem too. Let's see if that's what I want to do. Let's see. I'm trying to see what I'm in the mood for. What you want to hear? Give me some.
You did something that I shared like maybe a week or two ago. And you mentioned sativa, indica,
Oh, I don't
and
know.
you don't know that one?
No, no.
But I mean, anything you got, it doesn't even matter. Anything you got, I'm with. I mean, shit. Like what's that one where you talk about the kids and the father when you say the kids ain't straight, nigga? When you talking about, I think, a dad or something like that.
Okay. It's the men poem. I think. I'm really the best to ever do it. Oh, it's a little rap. You want to
That
hear?
one. I
Okay.
think it's that one.
Okay. It's a little.
Metaphors and similes and all that is that one.
Okay, you be listening to me for
Of
real.
course, yeah. I told you I'm a fan, sis, definitely.
Okay, I had wrote this because I just was bored for real. This was just some bored stuff, and I just wanted to just do it. But it's like, I'm really the best that ever do it. I mean, the best that ever used it. Similes, metaphors. I shit on the nigga head with a letterboard and a letterman. They be like, jam, come and let it in. And I ain't doing no settling like the settlers. Y'all the type of niggas that be like Columbus found America. And Willie Lynch brought it back. Trap music, you wear it on your neck. Just another noose to tie a nigga up. I guess that's why they found it at the bottom of the map. And I am talking about the way they enslaved niggas. Underpaid niggas. They be acting like they paid niggas, but families ain't straight, nigga. Welcome to show and tell when niggas put on shows for hoes until the bill come. And then you find out he ain't a real one. And it's back with how it goes. Niggas brag about hitting hoes, but was raised in a home when women carried the throne and they barely even knew they fathers. I guess they hit home for a lot of us. It's anonymous, like the synopsis of praising toxic culture, like that shit ain't destroyed a lot of us. I'm still healing from shit I don't talk about. So you better be thankful when I talk it out. Because that pent up aggression to make a grown man cry. I didn't put tears in a grown man's eyes. And that's not some shit that I'm proud of. Just be careful when you lift me. Because I'm bar heavy and you niggas barely lifting. Because you ain't been through shit. Because when you really been through it, you never want to front like the marks don't steam. Like some days I ain't go hungry and some nights I ain't sleep from nightmares that niggas slept on me. I've been slept on my whole life, so I bet on me. And that's that poem. And that's that poem.
I love it. I love it, sis. You're gonna have to do it. Shamice want to hear a love poem. I know you got a love poem. I know
Girl,
you got
I
a
don't write no love poems.
love.
I'm
It's
sorry,
crazy.
sis.
Your style though is like sometimes when you be spitting, it's like you get so into it, so like passionate and aggressive with it. Do you know what I mean? And I could just feel it. I could just feel it by watching you do your pieces. I can just feel it come right through the phone. What is one word that you would use to describe your poetry and how you deliver your poetry?
I think it's direct. Like you said, like about my poetry. Because like lately I've been trying to like expand my pen, but I realized like even when I do try to write about multiple different things or different things, and it's just who I'm a passionate person. So it's like even if I write something, I won't really I'm if I ain't passionate about it, I probably can't really write about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, right, my delivery is always like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like you said. It's like, because people like, Jamila, you know, be soft, be a girl. That's what they tell me all the time. Like, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to not be a girl. I just don't know how. I guess I don't know. Like, I don't know. But it's just the way they're really delivering my poetry. Like, even when I try to do soft speaking poetry or soft thoughts, I'm like, oh, this ain't me. I be trying, bro. I promise you, I do.
It's amazing to me how you have you just started performing live like what, maybe 2-3 years ago?
Yeah, it's like 2 years. Yeah.
Okay, so how did you did you ever have any fear in the beginning of doing it? Of course you did, right?
I
So
still,
but
you talking about did I have fear in the beginning? I think if you, I don't know, I can't say for everybody, but like I never not stopped being nervous. Now I
Right.
learned how to like at first I used to be so nervous though, like ridiculous. It like I didn't want to really do it. Like oh my God, I gotta go up in here in front of these people and
Mhm.
they talking to me and because I'm introverted for real. So it's like it was hard to be extroverted because like you have to push that out of you. But then like I had took a look. I don't know if you know him. His name B Rock, Mr. B Rock. He a poet too out of Atlanta.
No, I don't think so. I gotta
Okay.
look him up.
So he offered these courses on like the performance part of poetry. Some people have like the writing parts, but he teach you how to do performance. So I took one of his things, and one of it was like, I think it was called "Finding the Spirit of Your Poetry" or something like that. I can't remember exactly what the class was, but it was something of that nature, and it was just teaching me. So like, what I needed help was he gave me something to remind me. So we wrote down this thing like it's like a chant for me, but you could do it however you want to do it. But every time you do it, you go before it and you remind you like what's your purpose before you go on stage. It helps you prepare to go on stage. And like when I do that from that exercise of like now I see it as different. I understand like this is a call and this is an assignment. So before I was going in with fear on my own, but now I know that God is going with me. I'm not alone. So it's like I had to take my mind out of the place of like me in the place of what is this that I'm really doing it? What is this? It's not just I'm getting up here and want to say a cute poem and be seen because I would stop
Mhm.
doing it if that was the case.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I'm here to deliver something and give something that's bigger than myself. So it's like I'm gonna need something bigger than myself to help me. So when I think about that every time I go before our audience, I prepare myself. I wrote like I ain't gonna go through the whole chat, but I wrote 3 different things. I think he said you are right, like your why, your who, and like what is it for, like who do you feel like it. So mine's kind of like I am love, I am peace, um I am love, I am peace, I am strength, my help comes from the Lord. It's like, so I wrote a whole little thing, so I say it every time to remind myself, to put myself in that place. Okay, like when I'm going out here, even if I like, because I used to be always worried I'm gonna forget a word, like
Mhm.
just
Mhm.
so worried about certain things. Like I don't know how to look at the audience, just different stuff. And so now I don't worry about that because I'm like, I'm on assignment from God. Like if I mess
Mm.
up a word, oh well, I didn't come here to be the best or to be none of that. I didn't come here for that. I came here for one thing, and if God sent me here, He gonna make sure I get it done. So once I operate through that spirit, I'll be doing way better jobs nowadays.
Wow, you just said something there because something that I dealt with in the beginning, I was just talking to my wife about this earlier today. I was relating it to a situation that she was dealing with her singing. I feel as though,
I'm sorry.
um,
Exit out. Can you see?
yeah,
Okay.
you good, you good. I feel as though, whatever is for you, right? Like whatever purpose, especially if you're in your purpose and you're doing your purpose. I had to learn to tune out other things and just focus on the purpose and my relationship with God, because I would say some poems and I'm like, man, I don't know if I should say that like that. And at the time when I first started, I was still in a church. I was a deacon at a church. So it's
Mhm.
like I didn't want to share certain stuff if it didn't have um if it wasn't all the way clean and all of that. And I had to learn like, no, like you the gift that he's given us is on purpose, and you have to use that purpose and trust in him that he's putting you in the right places to deliver these messages that we giving to people. I did a
Mhm.
poem one time, I never forget it. I was at a church and I did a poem, and the reaction from this one young lady, that just it it did something. It changed me. It altered something. You know what I mean? And it made me look at fear and all that stuff and just push that aside and be like, you got to do what you, for one, I'm not even supposed to be here. I had a condition that I talk about in my book Unusual Favor that I should have passed away from, and I'm still here. So I feel as though there's a definite purpose and a reason of why I'm here, and I need to deliver these, whatever messages that he blesses me with. You know what I mean? A lot of times I would um go to different churches or hear a sermon online, and I would get something to instantly write right after I listened to it. Like something just hit me or
That's
come
it.
to me.
That's it.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? and I'll just come up with something. But I had to learn to trust it too, because in the beginning it's like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to say the wrong thing and this, that, and the other, but it's not about that. It really isn't. There's a healing in the words that we deliver. And I don't know who said this. It was a poet that I had on here. Well, they were like, they don't look at their poetry as competition. They never got in it for competition. They feel as though they're a healer. It may have even been you. I'm not sure. But they was like,
because I'm competitive. Like,
but they was like, I feel as though my poetry is for healing. I think all of us are healers in it. I really do. What's the feeling you get when you add an open mic though? Like when you really in your groove and you just came off, you just performed or whatever, and you sitting and you listen to the rest of the people. Like, what is the feelings and emotions that go through your mind and body while you're sitting there?
I love to go to open mics. I love to around other artists, because it's just something that they can give to you that you can't get it yourself. They inspire me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, not in the sense of like what they went through or their story, but just their art, the way everybody brings something different. And it's like, sometimes, it's like having a whole meal. If you just always listen to yourself and you just around yourself, all you got is chicken. But then you go to an open mic, I got some greens. I got some macaroni and cheese. You know what I mean? I always feel so fulfilled. That's the best word. I feel fulfilled. I just be so happy. I just be happy. I just be so happy.
I feel the same way though. I do. I feel the same. It's crazy because, like I say all the time, I can go in feeling a certain way and then come out a whole different way. And I think it's because of the stories and like people sharing their experiences. I think is what is the part of it that really helps me and motivates me to write, inspires me to write, and just to get that feeling. Like it's crazy because it's almost like going to church for me. Like it was a time when I would go to I was going through some things, and when I would be in church, it's like it would all come out. I just felt like it was all lifted off of me. And when I go to open mics, it's sort of the same feeling. You know what I mean? It really is sort of the same feeling. And I used to be like, wow, this is crazy. I would leave and be driving home from an open mic, and my whole attitude would be different. You know what I mean? Just because of being in that space around a certain type of people who are sharing all of their experiences. You know what I mean?
What's that that you wrote? You mind if I hear that you did at church for that girl? I just wanted to hear.
That was I think that was A New Day. I think that was this poem I got called A New Day. And it's in that's number 11. It's in my poetry book, Spitfire Poetry Volume 1. Right.
How many books you got?
I got 3 books. So I got Unusual Favor is my first book. That's a book about myself and my wife and things that we dealt with. And then Spitfire Poetry Volume 1 and 2. So I have 3 right now.
You be right.
Huh?
You be writing.
I try to, sis. I really do. I think I'm done with Unusual Favor. I got part 2 of Unusual Favor. It's called Victory in the Storm, that I'm going to put out like right around April, I believe, because I released this one right around my birthday in 2020. So I'm gonna do the second one right around the same time around my birthday, and I think I may be done April 25th.
Oh, okay.
April 25th. I'm a Taurus all day. Okay, but this is called A New Day, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a new day. I've seen many things, but none just the same. A new day brings change when you think of it, but none just the same. It's a new day, I hear, but don't shed a tear. It's a new day. That fear went away. What you don't do today is for a new day, a new way of thinking, instead of your mind stinking of thoughts of yesterday, because tomorrow's a new day. Fresh opportunities, depression let loose in me. I'm not for the scrutiny. A new day, I do believe, is a chance to make it right. When a bird takes flight and spreads its wings, a new day brings beautiful springs, sunlight that beams and heats up your skin. A new day brings things unseen and put in perspective. This is not just a message. Somebody might end it. Being suspended in space, they gave up their race. A new day, a new space to go and create another way. A new day can bring so much change. Don't give up today, for tomorrow's a new day. What a difference it makes. A new day's no mistake. Just hold on to tomorrow and then to tomorrow, to the days that follow. And joy's what you swallow with the side effect of laughter. What you mad for doesn't matter. A new day comes after any type of disaster. What you go through, it will mold you. It's a new day. It's over. I read that. I read that in another one called Press. I don't remember Press offhand. It's written down somewhere. But her reaction to it it did something to me. You know what I mean? I'm a people prayer. I go off of energy and all of that. You know what I mean? I go off of what you do and not what you say, type of. You know what I'm saying? And Jam, she like whatever she was experiencing was real, and that shit it did something to me. And when I always say it kind of scared me a little bit, because I felt as though, like, you know, I had a responsibility. You know what I mean? I had some type of responsibility. I felt as though, like I said, I shouldn't even be here. I had a health situation that I talk about in my book called cardiac sarcoidosis. Okay. And I'm blessed to be sitting here talking to you. All of this, like I created all of this in my laundry room, just going through the emotions and going through things in life. Is how I came up with Spitfire and Unusual Favor and things, just writing. You know what I mean? Writing in the laundry room with my daughters. They used to have a little lemonade stand that they a desk that they use as a lemonade stand. And when the summer was over, that fall and winter, I wrote on that table the whole time. And that's why I came up with all of these different stories and stuff. What was the first time you think you shared a video or a post of your poetry on social media? Do you remember?
Yeah. So I did it all kind of at the same time. So like I said, so my book was about grief. From the beginning, I think I told everyone. So my sister had got killed. And then so when she got killed, it made me write the book and write the poem. But before the book, I'm sorry, my phone.
You're right.
But before I ever published the book, that was the first poem I wrote because it was like I was grieving so bad. But you ever grieved and you're not feeling? I'm feeling everything, but I'm a crier, so it's like I wasn't crying.
Right.
So I've been crying my whole life. I'm like, nah, I ain't crying, something wrong. But I couldn't. It was a different type of grief where it was consuming me for however reason. And I think God had to break it through poetry. I don't know, something just try to write it out. And then that was the first poem I wrote after all that time. And then I went and performed it at a little place here, and they recorded it and I posted it. So that was like the first thing.
Wow. I remember I posted my first poem, and it was it was a poem I wrote called "All That Shouting Isn't Necessary," and this was in like 2017. And at the time, I wasn't working. My money was just I was struggling heavy. I was sitting outside of a social services building in Baltimore where you go in for food stamps and assistance and stuff like that. And I'm sitting in my car, and I was so sick and tired of going back and forth there. I didn't know what I was doing. It was all unfamiliar to me. The paperwork and all the shit that they make you go through and shit. Yes. So, and that attitude, because they off the hook down there, said, so I'm sitting in the car, and it's like, I started recording myself doing that poem, and I went in there. I stayed in there probably about 6 hours all that day. Came out, didn't check my social media till that evening. And when I looked at it, I had all of these all of these comments and likes and all of that. And as I'm reading it, I'm like, damn, I was expressing something that I really didn't want to. The only reason I expressed it is because I was pissed off, I was mad. But I didn't really want to put that out there to the world for everybody to know what I was dealing with. But I was so angry, I just was like, fuck it. I just did it and put it out there. And the response, that too was another thing that kind of made me afraid, because a lot of my close friends and people who don't even know me was just like, damn, like they really enjoyed it. You know what I mean? They really enjoyed it. And it did something to me, like, damn, like maybe I got something here. Especially it was an older lady that used to go to a church that I went to. And she was like, you know, you need to be spreading this out to the world and doing this, that, and the third with it. And it just made me realize that sharing my experiences, what I thought and felt was my failures and things of that nature, we all deal with the same shit. We all go through the same things, you know what I mean? And you know, it kind of made me feel good, because I felt as though just by some of the comments that I was reading, that I helped somebody related to me because I had tears in my eyes and everything when I was so angry, you know what I mean? And I was just like, damn, so maybe I got them.
They pissed you off.
I was upset. Yes, they pissed me off. So look, let's do one more before we get out of here. I know you got something else. You got a whole bunch of stuff. Anything you want to spit, let's go right ahead.
Okay. Since it's Women's History Month, I do this poem I wrote about women. He asked me what makes black magic. You mean the way we become burnt to a crisp, delectable platter, stainless steel, we stain everything we spill on. Black screens are just a reflection on how black it has to be, so we won't get the picture wrong. Color purple, C, lead me and you will never pause. Delta, Sigma, Theta, Zeta, Phi, Beta, all women be all. We be beauty, we be scars, we be kinky enough that even when they try to press us out, we don't straighten up, we be curved. We be nerve. I'm talking about that one in your tooth. Left black from all this fruit, we be apple. Antioxidant, fiber, digestion, we be dressing, because nothing you can do can stuff us out. This ain't clout. This is smothering. Cold flames of fire. They say that magic is found in the shooting star. I guess that's why they laid us on the ground and shoot. Sha'Carri Richardson couldn't get hot enough before they gunned down her lungs. Ain't no catching us, ain't no catching up. Even when they try to choke us breathless, we show up in black caskets. Eulogy by black pastors buried in black dirt. Ancestors be ready to send a message back. I call that black earth. Tribal. Our dances go viral. Teach me how to jerk. Teach me how to jerk. Chicken, jollof rice, plantains, and fufu weaving together beautiful iridescent flowers. We bloom so black, so matter of fact, so used up and bruised up. You couldn't tell the way we thrift shop we was ever used. We had become the valedictorians of Pull It Together. The target audience for Kevin Samuels. We have been objectified and reminded that black needs parameters. They hate the way that our soul don't stay inside the lines of the chalk. They hate the way we talk. They hate the way that our hips move depression out of its place. How our voice turned tune a musical instrument aligned with faith. We affirm and take up space. She discern and break the weight that so easily besets us. And it don't get no more magic than that. That's that piece.
I love it, sis. I love it. I love it. I love it. Do you ever use any of your poetry or artistic talents that you have on your job, like on your day-to-day job?
No.
No.
I wish. Like I'm trying to make this my day-to-day job. I'm trying to become a full-time entrepreneur. Like I want to become, because I love this. Like I'm not saying everybody don't love it, but it's a different type of love for me. Like it's like purpose, it's peace. Like even like I always wanted to be a therapist. Like that's my goal. I always wanted to help people. But it's like even in that, like I get tired of that. You know what I'm saying? Like I never get tired of poetry. Ever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I never get tired of it. Sometimes I be tired in my body, but it's because I'm doing so much. But it's not that I'm tired of poetry. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just feel like that's something that I want to do for the rest of my life. So it's like I want to be able to create, or generate income in some type of way where I can live off of it, where I can really just be able to do poetry and teach it, to other people, because I just feel like it's it's art therapy. That's what it is.
Definitely therapy through art. You're absolutely right about that. It definitely is. I wish you all the best at all that you do. I definitely have to continue to stay in touch with you. Have you ever, so tomorrow is Thursday. I'm gonna try to get through this, but tomorrow, I know before I get there, I'll probably shed a tear or two, and I'm gonna read to my youngest daughter's class. I forgot all about it. I forget what the school is calling it, but it's a bunch of dads that they want to come to the school. It's like Dads Read Across America or something. Mm-hmm. And it just hit me the other day because I saw the email that reminded me that I was going to do it, and they was like, "We would like you to bring one of your books if you got something in there that you can read to children that's that's appropriate for them. You know what I mean? We would like for you to do that." And it made me feel a certain way to be able to go in there and do that in my child's class, number one. And then like the legacy part of leaving something. Like, how do you feel about having material that's timeless? Like, it'll always be here when me and you are gone and our children are adults and have their own kids. Like, what does that mean to you to have something left like that?
Man, the world. So I used to write these little letters. They was like my way of faith, talking to God. I would write a letter each year. Each year I wrote one. Each year the letter would include different things I wanted to accomplish or different things I wanted. It was like my prayers to God. Like, God, all right, this year I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna fold it up. I used to have this little shirt. It was like a faith shirt, whatever. I bought it. I used to wrap the letters in there. And each year I'm like, God, I'm expecting you to do that. The other day I was cleaning out my room and I was looking at the letters, and one of the letters was from 2021. I think it's my 2021 letter, and I was reading it, and on the thing it said I wanted to become a published author, and I was like, you know what I'm saying? Almost made me cry. Let me shed a little tear.
Right.
So when you said that kind of like just like it stirred it back up a little bit, and I was just thinking like, I lived something that's gonna be timeless, that I'm gonna always be here. You know, when we think about people, when we think about Tupac, you listen to their music, they're gonna be here forever, or whoever you love. Like, I'm just naming people that I like, or things like, but that outlives you. Like, and when I think about that, like, it just makes me feel a different type of way, bro. I ain't gonna lie, like, you know what I mean? Like, I always wanted to write a book, but now it's like I want to keep writing books. I want to leave so much behind from me, because it's like there's nothing greater than that. There's nothing greater.
Have you written I'm not gonna ask you to share, but have you written a direct letter or poem to your children?
Yes. I just wrote one, actually. So let me see if I can go on my phone. I might just be the last thing I read. And tell me if you can see me while I'm on here and with my phone.
We can still see. Yeah, we can see.
Hold on, I gotta see if I can open. I'm gonna go to my notes. I don't know it by heart. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, you can see me too.
No, it's black now, but I can hear you.
Okay, hold on. What's it called? So I wrote 2 poems for my children, but I just recently wrote this. So one I wrote was for my daughter. I think y'all heard it. It was called Brown Skin Girls. It was because my daughter was experiencing racism in school. So I wrote that poem for her.
Wow.
That was like one of like the first 3 poems I ever wrote. So she was experiencing racism. I wrote this, but this one I wrote directly towards my daughter. This next one, I got it. I'll read it. Let me know when you're ready.
Be ready.
Okay. Have no regrets in this life, I would agree. But when I became a mother, I made my daughter a mother too. And I never knew what it truly meant when they said mothers just be doing their best, until my test came. Until my best became not able to do it by myself. My daughter became the help, and the regrets just grew. I planted every seed I could, and she planted too. They say your oldest be your closest, but she be damn near me. She be making beds and helping with homework. She be feeding kids just to see me work. just to see me rest, just so I can show up to a show and do a poem about her. I never knew real hurt until I knew motherhood, until my decisions affected my descendants. It's a different type of life when it's not all about you. When you can't feed you first, when you can't grieve too long because they need you first. She painted a picture of me with a cape on. It said, "Mommy so strong, I wondered if she knew she saved me. I wonder if she knew that God gave me, that God graced me. Her name means God is my oath. What a promise God gave me." This is an ode to every oldest, to every child that did more than they were supposed to when the other parent leave a hole. They just fill in with no tools. My prayer be that she don't regret me. Parenting don't come with no book. You just do your best. I had to parent more because her father decided to parent less. They call it a broken home, but I call it resilience. They say women came from man red, but she came out of me with a helpmate, with a team player, with a savior of a child. And I just want to say I'm thankful for mine. There was nothing I wouldn't do. Even in the grave, I'm going to come back and watch your way, because that's what parents do. We sacrifice our lives 2 times. 1, while we alive, and 2, to let you know parents don't die. We just live on through our child, because there's no me without you. Yes, that piece.
I love it, Jams. You are, man. I love it. I love it. You are so talented. I swear. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on. Tell everybody how we can follow you and keep up with you.
You can follow me on Instagram under Jamspoken, JAMSPOKEN, and then you can also follow me on Facebook under Jam Mac, JAMMCK.
All right, Jams. I appreciate you, sis. Be safe and be vigilant out here. Thank you for constantly always being available. I appreciate you so much. You are a wonderful artist and poet, and your future. I'm excited to see where you go, and I'm right here with you, sis. Trust me, I'm right here with you.
Love you too, bro.
Absolutely, sis. Love you. Stay safe out here, y'all. If you want to be blessed, you must bless somebody else. Stay tuned for Brother Chad's show coming right up. Jams, you be safe, sis. I'll stay in touch with you.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Just wanted to let you know that the host of this show appreciates the time that you've spent with them. Now, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel so you can keep up with everything that we're doing. And most of all, thank you for tuning in to What Up Baltimore online radio, where the people have the power.